Welcome back to Headlight Headlines, your daily automotive news podcast. I'm your host, Clayton. Today is January the 19th, 2023. It is Thursday, and we've got a few interesting articles today and some follow-ups from yesterday's Corvette news. We can go more in depth on that, but we are going to get things started here with the new Hyundai Kona that is coming out for the 2024 model year. So the 2023 Kona is the same that's been out for quite a few years now. They're finally doing a redesign of it, and it looks like here it's going to have the same two engines that were available from the previous generation model. A 1.6 liter turbo making 195 horsepower and a 2-liter engine 2-liter 4-cylinder engine making 147 horsepower. I think it's pretty interesting engine choices there. They're saying there's likely to be a 1.6 liter inline 4 to be on the inline model, which is more like their sportier versions, with 195 horsepower and torque. They haven't said what transmission is going to be used. The last one had a 7-speed dual clutch, so it'll be something very similar to that, if not that same exact transmission. And the Kona N was out, the high performance model, but that may not come out right away. So they have a hybrid model as well. They're unsure if that's going to come out in the United States at this point. They haven't heard anything about it. But that one is a 1.6 liter gas engine in an electric motor that combined for a total of 139 horsepower. And this version of the Kona is longer. It adds 5.7 inches in overall length, so about a half foot, and the wheelbase is 2.3 inches longer. You can see here the interior looks pretty nice, very simplistic looking, has like regular door handles. This like dash infotainment climate control area right here kind of might look a little outdated. It kind of gets that like modernish, futuristic-y, but simple at the same time kind of look. Not like super overkill or anything like a lot of other things are. I think it looks pretty decent on the interior. Not like crazy flashy or anything. The steering wheel is pretty cool too, I think. With the 3-spoke. I like it. Pretty cool little car. And I think this redesign looks way better than the outgoing model, to be honest. The wheels are a little but it's not all about that. Next up, we have another refresh, the 2024 Mercedes CLA, which also is adding a hybrid system. Talked a bunch about those yesterday. If you didn't check that out, be sure to do so. It is newly redesigned, the front, the rear, different headlights and different wheels. It has 221 horsepower, which is a pretty decent number, nothing too crazy. An electric powertrain that adds 13 horsepower, which is used mostly when you have low range. Nothing on pricing yet. They're saying it'll come out later this year, and this is kind of just a facelift, not a complete redesign of the prior model that was out. I like how it looks, to be honest. Not sure about the AMG yet. There's nothing to show about that yet, but it has a nice 10.3 inch instrument cluster and 10.3 inch touchscreen. You can see here it kind of goes all the way around or across from the driver to that center console area. I like the interior of these. It's like one of the base model Mercedes. It's okay. It's a decent car, and I like this blue color. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty classy in a simplistic way. Mature, you may say. Next up, we have officially Harley-Davidson will go all electric here soon. Their CEO says that it will transition to an electric lineup. He actually said it needs to happen, is what the CEO said. So what it appears like, they had a new brand that was smaller called Livewire that was electric, but now they're talking about how they're going to transition their Harley Davidson regular lineup over to electric, which I think is really cool. I personally haven't heard a lot about electric motorcycles. I mean, I know that a lot exist and stuff, but with these big gas engine companies and their transitions to electric, I haven't really heard much, but I do think it'll be really cool once they do that. Electric motorcycles to me are really cool. Some of the Honda ones are really cool. And I don't know much about motorcycles. I don't ride motorcycles, but I do like how they look. So it'll be cool to see what electric versions Harley Davidson can whip up, because I know they got a lot of stuff there. So here is an interesting article on TFL Car that talks about used car prices that are falling. So they analyzed, I'm not sure where they got this from. IC Cars is the source. They analyzed the top 10 cars with the greatest price drops from September to December of 2022. So this is pretty relevant information, as December 2022 was less than 3 weeks ago. So let's get into it. The number one, they just have the top 10 here. The number one car with the greatest price drop is something that I've been talking about a little bit here recently, is the Tesla Model 3. And it has dropped almost $9,000 or 16.8% in those 3 months period, which is wild, because compared to all the rest of these on the list, that is the most money and the most percentage of price change. So this is ranking the percentage change, not the price. We'll see that in a little bit here later. Number 2 is the Nissan Kicks. Nissan's like really small SUV crossover thing that they offer, and it dropped $2,700, which is 12% just about. And like compared to that $8,000, which was 16%. I know it's only 16%, but like none of the rest of these are even close to $8,000 or $9,000. They're close to $3,000 or $4,000. So the Ford Mustang is number 3, which I think is very interesting. The only muscle car on this list. And it dropped $3,495, a little bit less of a percent change than the Nissan, only 11.5%, even though the actual monetary price change is higher. Then there's the Hyundai Ioniq Hybrid, which dropped 11%, only about $2,500. The RAV4 dropped about 9%, which is about $2,700, $2,800. Jaguar E-Pace is also over $3,000 price change, but because it's a more expensive car, it's only 8% of its price. GMC Acadia, about $2,600, 7%, 7.7%. Then the Ford EcoSport and Toyota Camry both are at 7%, even with $1,500 and $2,000 price changes respectively. And then lastly, the Audi SQ5, which is down 6.8%, about $3,200. Then they also look at the biggest price drops from December 2021 to December 2022. And obviously that one's a less relevant data for this because, yeah, the car prices were wild back in 2021 compared to where they are now at the end of 2022. So they have the Nissan Armada and Ford Expedition Max at the very top, which are interesting because those are their large SUVs from both of those companies. So, like, is this predicting that the large SUV market is going to go down a lot? I don't know. Obviously, the Suburban, Escalade, and the others aren't on this list, so I don't know. We'll see. Jaguar E-Pace, which is their SUV, which was also in the other list, the first one to be in both, is interesting as well. These are some pretty significant price changes. The Nissan Armada was almost 17%, which is similar to that Tesla Model 3 drop. This one's over a longer range of time, a whole year compared to 3 months, but it's still pretty significant. Then they have the Mustang. I'm assuming that these Mustangs they have listed are the EcoBoost, because it says average price 26,000. I don't know. It might be the GT. It might not even matter. It might be both. Infiniti QX80, which I believe is their large SUV, down 13%, which is similar to the Mustang's percentage. Tesla Model 3 also on this list, but it is actually lower than the other list. Doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm not sure why that is. I don't know. 5,700, but then it says, I'm not sure why that is. Maybe that must mean that the price was a little bit lower at the end of last year as well. I don't know. Then the Range Rover Velar, Audi SQ5, which was also on the other list, Camaro, which was not on the other list, and the Mercedes-Benz G-Class. So a lot of big SUVs, to be honest, on there, which is crazy. With the G-Class, the Armada, the QX80, the Expedition Max. Very interesting to look at, but pretty good information. Next, we got a wild video. I did not see this on TV. I didn't even know this was happening. But on the Today Show yesterday, they had a thing for the Corvette E-Ray, and they had it on the ice rink there, which is wild. And even they did an interview with the guy who was driving the car, and he's like, when will they get to see a Corvette on the ice again? So now they're showing this thing, what has been dubbed the cyclone turn that the driver of this car figured out how to do. So here's the video for that. He just kind of starts spinning, but it's not like he's doing donuts. Like, he was trying to do donuts before, and now it's just like doing this weird spinning in place kind of thing, which I believe it's able to do because it has the front motor and the rear motor. Like, it's all got the all-wheel driveness of it. And however that system works on this E-Ray, it's able to basically spin in place, is what that's the best way I can describe it. And it goes for like 30 seconds straight, and then it just stops. It was wild. I had never seen anything like that before. It was hilarious, to be honest. The dude said he just wanted to send it, basically. Like, that's what it said. We needed to just send it. Like, okay. It was hilarious. Definitely check that out if you are listening on podcast, because it's a funny video. And lastly, got a pretty cool thing to show you. You can finally customize your very own Corvette E-Ray now on the Chevrolet website, which is really cool. So we're going to do that real quick. If it loads, I don't know what it just did. So here we have body style. They don't have the Corvette on here yet. They don't have the convertible on here yet, just the coupe. So here we can actually look at some of the colors. So here's some that I'm interested in. First, this cacti one. A little light. Okay. I like the orange. I want to see this blue, though. Because a lot of them are it's mostly just the same from the others. Alright, we're going to do this one. Like these wheels. They also have the carbon fiber wheels. We're going to go with these because they're new. Okay. And we'll do this one. It's kind of low quality, to be honest. But at least it's a cool thing they have. Not much customization, to be honest, yet. But just a little bit of insight into what it's going to be like. It seems like it's taking a while to load. So, I'm not really going to wait for it. Yeah, not sure what's up with it. We'll figure it out. But that's going to be it for today. See you all in the next one. Have a great day today. And peace out.